Dear students, my name is Wasim Ahmed and I am teaching you physics for grade 9. It is lecture number 1 of second week for second term. As you know, we had been learning since last week unit 1 titled as physical quantities and measurement. The topic for today's discussion is measuring instruments. Measuring instruments are used to measure various physical quantities such as length, mass, time, volume, etc. Measuring instruments used nowadays are highly reliable, precise, and accurate. Here we shall describe the following measuring instruments. Number 1, vernier calipers. Number 2, screw gauge. And number 3, measuring cylinders. As you see, vernier calipers are used for measuring small length of an object between 1 centimeter and 10 centimeter. Similarly, screw gauge are also used for measuring small length less than 2 centimeter, and measuring cylinders are used to find volume. Let's start with vernier calipers. A vernier calipers consists of two jaws as shown in figure 1.6. One is fixed jaw with main scale attached to it. Main scale has centimeters and millimeters marks on it. The other jaw is a movable jaw. It has vernier scale having 10 divisions over it, such that each of its division is 0.9 millimeter. So, vernier calipers is having two scales, fixed main scale and movable vernier scale. This movable vernier scale slides over the main scale. Least count is the term that is associated with all type of measuring instruments. As the name suggests, it is the minimum reading that can be taken by any measuring instrument. So let's talk about the least count of the vernier calipers. It can be defined in two ways. Number 1, the difference between one small division on main scale division and one vernier scale division is 0.1 millimeter. And number 2, least count of the vernier calipers can also be found as given below. Least count of vernier calipers equal smallest reading on main scale divided by number of divisions on vernier scale. And we just saw the smallest reading on main scale equals 1 millimeter, and there were 10 divisions on vernier scale. So if we divide 1 by 10, we get 0.1 millimeter. Hence, least count of the vernier calipers equal 0.1 millimeter. But for all measuring and practical purposes, this least count is always expressed in centimeter. So the least count of the vernier calipers equal 0.1 centimeter. Working of a vernier calipers, that is how we can take a reading on vernier calipers. Let's find the diameter of a solid cylinder using vernier calipers. For this purpose, place a solid cylinder between jaws of the vernier calipers as shown in this figure. Close the jaws till they press the opposite sides of the object gently. Note the complete divisions of main scale past the vernier scale 0 in a tabular form. Here you see that this 0 of the vernier is just passing the 2.2 centimeter on main scale. Next, find the vernier scale division that is coinciding with any division on the main scale. And here, if you observe it closely, you see that this first, second, third and fourth, this fourth division is just coinciding with this division on the main scale. Multiply this coinciding scale by least count of the vernier calipers and add the result in a main scale reading. This is how to find the diameter of a solid cylinder. Dear students, let's make this statement more clear. Here you note that the zero of the vernier scale is just passing the 2.2 centimeter. It means that main scale reading equals 2.2 centimeter. Next, multiply this fourth coinciding division with the least count to get vernier scale reading. So vernier scale reading equals 4 times, what is the least count of the vernier scale? 0.01, and the result is 0.04. So the final reading, that is the diameter of the solid cylinder, comes to be diameter equals, just add up these two terms, main scale reading and vernier scale reading. Main scale reading we just calculated as 2.2 centimeter and vernier scale reading we got as 0.04. So upon adding these two, we are having 2.24 centimeter. So the diameter of this solid cylinder equals 2.24 centimeter. This is how to take a reading with the help of vernier calipers. Again repeating, first of all we require main scale reading. And how to get main scale reading? By observing the zero of the vernier, where does it lie on the main scale, and here it lies between 2.2 and 2.3 centimeter. Next of all, we require a vernier scale reading. And how to get vernier scale reading is obtained by observing the coinciding division, and in this case the fourth one, and multiply it with the least count of the vernier calipers. So we get 0.04. And final reading, that is in this case the diameter of the solid cylinder, is obtained by just adding main scale and vernier scale. So 2.2 is added with 0.4, and finally we get 2.24 centimeter as the diameter of this solid cylinder. So it looks a very straightforward and easy to get the reading with the help of the vernier calipers. Hope you understand, dear students. Let's talk about the second measuring instrument, that is screw gauge. It is also called micrometer screw gauge. A simple screw gauge consists of U-shaped metal frame with a metal stud at its one end, as shown in figure. A hollow cylinder has a millimeter scale over it along a line called index line parallel to its axis. The hollow cylinder acts as a nut. It is fixed at one end of U-shaped frame opposite to the stud called spindle. So dear students, just like vernier calipers, here again there are two scales. One is the main scale and other is the rotating circular scale. Here we define a term, pitch of the screw gauge. What is it? As the thimble completes one rotation, the spindle moves 1 millimeter along the index line. It is because the distance between consecutive threads on the spindle is 1 millimeter. This distance is called the pitch of the screw on the spindle. That is, if we rotate this circular scale in one complete rotation, it moves here on the main scale by distance of 1 millimeter. This is called pitch of a screw gauge. Least count of a screw gauge. We had already defined a term least count for vernier calipers. Now it's for screw gauge. Again, it is defined in two ways. Number one, as thimble completes one rotation, 100 divisions pass the index line and the thimble moves 1 millimeter along the main scale. Thus, each division of circular scale crossing the index line moves the thimble through 1 by 100 millimeter or 0.01 millimeter on the main scale. Least count of a screw gauge can also be defined as least count equal pitch of the screw gauge divided by number of divisions on circular scale. And we just defined in the previous slide that pitch of the screw gauge is 1 millimeter. It is the distance covered on the main scale by one full complete rotation of circular scale. And how many divisions on circular scale? 100 divisions. So 1 divided by 100, 0.01 millimeter. So the least count of a screw gauge comes to be 0.01 millimeter. Dear students, let's talk about the working of a screw gauge. That is, how can we take measurements with the help of a screw gauge? For this purpose, let's find the diameter of this given wire. The procedure is close the gap between spindle and the stud of the screw gauge by turning this ratchet in the clockwise direction. Note the main scale as well as circular scale reading to find zero error. Next, open the gap between stud, this is the stud, and spindle of the screw gauge by turning the ratchet in anti-clockwise direction. Place the given wire, in this case this is the given wire, in the gap as shown in figure 1.1. Turn the ratchet so that the object is pressed gently between the stud and the spindle. Note the main scale from this point as well as circular scale from this scale. Reading to find the diameter of the wire. Okay, this is how to take measurement with the help of the screw gauge. Dear students, let's make this statement more clear. Here we see that this is the main scale, and by putting this wire between stud and spindle, we see that the main scale reading is between 1 millimeter and 2 millimeter. It means that main scale reading equal 1 millimeter. Now we have to find the vernier scale reading. And how to get vernier scale reading? We have noted down that this 85th division is just coinciding with this index line. So we multiply this 85th division with the least count of the screw gauge. And what is the screw gauge? Least count of the screw gauge 0.01 millimeter. And we get, by multiplying 85 with 0.0 equal 0.85. And finally, the diameter of the wire comes to be diameter equals, we just add these two readings, that is main scale reading and vernier scale reading. So main scale reading is 1 millimeter and vernier scale reading, which was obtained just multiplying the coinciding deviation with the least count, equal 0.85. So now just add these two, we get the diameter of the wire as 1.85 millimeter. Again, first of all, we have to see what is the main scale reading, and it is obtained by observing this point. And then we require vernier scale reading. For this, we see that which deviation, in this case 85th deviation, is just coinciding with this index line. So multiply 85 with the least count of the screw gauge equals 0.85, and the final diameter is obtained by just adding main scale and vernier scale, and finally we get 1.85 as the diameter of the wire which is placed here. So it seems to be a very straightforward, and hopefully you understand this point. Dear students, let's talk about the Meyring cylinder. Meyring cylinder is a glass or transparent plastic cylinder. It has scale along its length that indicates a volume in millimeter as shown in this figure. Here you see that the total capacity of this Meyring cylinder is 200 milliliter, and if you look closely at the deviance, we note that the minimum deviation that is taken by this graduated or Meyring cylinder is, here you note that 5 milliliter, because if you note that it's 0 and it's first deviation, second, third and fourth. So each deviation is equal to 5 milliliter. So 5 milliliter is the least count of this Meyring cylinder in this picture, in this figure. Let's talk about the working of a Meyring cylinder. Meyring cylinders are used to measure the volume of a liquid or powdered substance. In case of a liquid, for example water, if you put water in a Meyring cylinder, its surface looks like a concave, and if you note it also in this case, we see that it is concave shaped. And how to get the volume of the liquid, put it in a Meyring cylinder. Here you note that the volume is 3 milliliter, because this surface is just matches with this value, mean 3 milliliter. Dear student, can you tell what is the volume of this liquid in this cylinder? It appears to be 28. How to get it? Mean this 20 scale, this 22, 24, 26 and this is the 28. Mean the volume of this liquid is 28 milliliter. And here you note that suppose we have put a color powder in a Meyring cylinder. The surface of the powder is a straight one. Here you note that the volume of this powder is appear to be, here it's a 70 milliliter, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 78. So this is the 78 milliliter. So this is how to find the volume of any liquid or powder, in this case, with the help of the Meyring cylinder. This is the second use of Meyring cylinder. Meyring cylinder is also used to find the volume of an irregular shaped solid insoluble in a liquid. Dear student, this is the solid whose volume is to be found out. How to get it? First of all, we have taken the liquid inside of Mehring cylinder. Here it appears to be 600 milliliter, and we say that its volume is Vi. And when this solid is immersed in a liquid, the surface rises to this point. We may call it volume F. So, how much is the volume of this irregular shaped solid? Volume of this solid equal Vf final volume minus initial volume. So this is how to get the volume. And if particularly in this case we see that the initial volume is 600 milliliter and the final volume is 800 milliliter. So if we put the value here, 800 milliliter minus 600 milliliter equals 200 milliliter. So again, you know that this is a very simple and straightforward way to get the volume of a irregular shaped solid. Dear students, let's recap what we talked about in this discussion. We talked about measuring instruments, vernier calipers, screw gauge and measuring cylinder. Vernier calipers and screw gauge are used to measure small length, and measuring cylinder is used to measure volume. Hopefully you get something important and something easy in this discussion. So if you watch it and listen it carefully and keep on repeating the lecture, you can understand the today's discussion. Okay student, see you in next lecture with next discussion.